Welcome to the anomaly, the contradistinct, uncensored, unmonetizable, and deemed unwatchable by the mainstream masses. We are the ones they cannot control and attempt to hold back, but together we form revolution. The Rambosia. Welcome to John Rambo Presents The Show. Stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.
So right before today's show, I got the mail. Do you guys like getting the mail?
Some mail. I like checks. I don't like bills.
Yeah, I'm with that on that. Though all I ever get are advertisements for things I don't need. I live in an apartment. I don't need tree removal.
That's it. Somebody wants you to pay for it, though.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So in the mail, I got a pamphlet. It is from Terrence P. Murphy. He's the 40th Senate District Senator. He's my senator, apparently. And this pamphlet says, as the weather turns warm, we like to be in and out around the water. Whether spending time at one of New York's many lakes, rivers, streams, or at a backyard pool, it is important that we are mindful of water safety as we head to our favorite activity. I hope you find this brochure useful, and if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact my office. Have a safe, fun, and enjoyable summer. And there's several swimming and water tips here we're going to get into. And if anyone has questions, maybe perhaps this gentleman has Twitter or something, or an email, or we just send letters through the mail, because we all love the mail, to his office if we have questions about the water. Okay?
Well, didn't he basically just say if you have questions, ask him?
Yeah, you can contact his office and ask him.
We should ask him if he's concerned about dihydrogen monoxide.
All right, put that on the list. We're setting up a list of questions for the senator here.
Water safety questions.
Yes.
Is it true that you shouldn't swim within an hour after eating?
That's what everyone says.
That's what everyone says.
I'm not sure, but I have several different water safety tips here. I think it's important here on the show to read these off, educate everybody. Why should just my Senate district be educated about safety? Everyone
this
should.
Is just a tease to us in California because we don't have any water out here. Nobody's swimming. No, you know.
That'll go on the list as well. Could we send some water to California?
Could you send some water? Yes, send it from Oklahoma and Texas. They have more than they need.
Right.
Seriously, it's awful.
So here we go. So the first thing is, swimming in an open body of water is different than swimming in a pool. News to me. You need more energy to handle the currents and other changing conditions in open water. Do not underestimate the power of water and undertows.
Well, the only body of water I'm near is a pool that goes from 3 feet to 3 feet 6 inches.
That is...
Clearly, it's a lap pool. There is no diving.
Do not underestimate the power of water. Okay? If you do find yourself in a current, do not panic and do not fight it. Try to swim parallel to the shore until you are able to get out of the current, which is usually a narrow channel of water. If you are unable to swim away from the current, stay calm. Float with it. The current will usually slow down, and then you can swim to shore. Is that true? Have you ever been in the Pacific Ocean, Ed, and been caught in the undertow?
No, I haven't been caught in the undertow. I've been in the Pacific Ocean. It's colder than the Atlantic, so I haven't been in it as much as I've been in the Atlantic.
Oh, it's a little too cold there.
Yeah, when I went on when I was on the East Coast, I went to the beach more often. I'm only 20 minutes away from the beach out here, but
nice.
It still feels like the trees are on like the ocean's on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah, right.
Sean, how about you? You go to the beach, you get in the water, and you're humbled. You're caught under the waves.
I've never been torn away or caught in an undertow, but I mean, I've been in currents a few times where I go swimming and I'm swimming around, and all of a sudden I look back and I'm 100 feet to the left of where I started.
Yeah, it's weird stuff.
My towel's all the way over there.
Do you ever do the thing where you just stand? You could stand in a standing position, and then it comes by and moves you, right? Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something. Remember that swimming aids, such as water wings or noodles, are fun toys, but they should never be used in place of a life-saving device.
Well, I mean, if that's all you got with you, then, use them.
What are you going to do?
I could just picture somebody who's having trouble swimming. Like they're starting to slowly, succumb to the water, like drowning a little bit. And they have a noodle near them and they remember that message. Like, I have nothing. They just throw it away, even though it's floating.
Do you think people actually would use a noodle? I'm going to go out into the ocean.
You could use a kickboard.
I can't see how it would hurt you.
Yeah, right? It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. I do remember my father saving me once from when I thought I was drowning, whether I was or not. I was little. We were having a picnic at City Island. And, we had just had hot dogs. And so maybe it's true that you shouldn't swim within an hour after eating, because I do remember getting in over my head, yelling help, and Dad was right there. He was an excellent swimmer.
So you proved the theory.
Maybe.
The eating thing. Wow.
Yeah.
I was just
okay, so here's one. This kind of goes along with this. Always swim with a partner. Always swim with a partner. That's what it says. Even experienced swimmers can become tired or get muscle cramps, which might make it difficult to get out of the water. When people swim together, they can help each other or go for help in case of emergency.
Well, I have to give props to my daughter here because I went into that pool that I was talking about for the first time over Memorial Day weekend yesterday because I was waiting to swim with someone.
Yes.
And, she's athletic, and even though
we're following the rules here.
I was following the rules, even though the deep end is 3'6".
But if you are alone, there's no one that's going to drown you.
Right.
So your partner could turn on you. Potentially. It has to be a trustworthy. They need more detail here.
Yeah.
Right.
A trusted partner is what it should say.
A trusted partner proving themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. Lifeguards are not babysitters. Always keep eyes on your child. And if you have to leave, even for a moment, take your child with you.
Yeah.
I thought lifeguards were babysitters.
You thought they were babysitters.
I've seen every episode of Baywatch. And I had a whole different idea of what a lifeguard was.
What?
Well, you just wanted to drown in front of Pamela Anderson's bench. That's
all. Yeah, I used to watch that as a kid, man. I think I saw probably every episode.
Wow.
Yeah, I was into it. I was real into Baywatch.
Explains a lot.
I worked with her once.
Oh yes, you did on what was it, the book show? What was it called?
Yeah, it was called Stacked.
Stacked, yes. Yeah.
Stacked.
I see what they did there.
It's kind of a one-trick show.
I think Christopher Lloyd was on the show.
Christopher Lloyd, he was one of the producer writers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, I was on that show as Lincoln, and I was coaching a softball team at the time. And my assistant coach was a big fan of Pamela Anderson's, and she gave me an autographed picture made out to him. And she was a very nice girl, very nice lady. Yeah.
Good. So we got two more here. I want to get your take on this.
Water safety.
Do not push or jump on others.
That's kind of self-evident, isn't it?
If you're jumping on someone in the water, I mean, you're pretty good at jumping in the water. Right. Unless you're jumping from like a ledge or a diving board or something.
How do you truly test someone's swimming acclimate if you do not really push them or jump onto them to see if they can handle the water?
Well, that's why the expression is, I think it's called reach, row, throw, go. If you can reach someone, do that. Reach, row to someone, throw something to them. Last resort is going to them.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to throw them.
It takes longer to get to them, I guess, than anything else.
It takes longer. And also, if you just go out there, they will jump on your head.
And you'll drown.
To try to get out of the water.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever have to do any water stuff in films, Ed?
In films, yes. There was one called The Barrington Oak, where I was the bad guy, and I got socked on the jaw and had to fall backwards off of a bridge into a river. And the problem was that I couldn't stop from like holding my nose, grabbing my nose just before I hit the water. So we had to do it like 4 times.
Stop holding your nose.
Stop holding your nose. You're supposed to be knocked out. That's why you fell in the water.
Oh.
But it was just an instinct that I had a hard time overcoming.
Yeah, well, yeah, just falling in. You can't brace yourself at all, or you could kind of, or
No, you're supposed to look like you were just knocked out.
like you're falling in. Oh wow, that's
falling in
tough.
backwards off of this little stone bridge.
That's like a stunt.
Yeah, they didn't have any stuntmen. This was in the early days. This was in the late 70s that I did this movie.
The Wild West.
Kind of.
70s.
Yeah, it's the Wild West set in New Hampshire.
Well, it's the Wild Northeast then?
The Wild Northeast, yeah.
Wild New England.
It had horseback riding and, pistols and shootouts. And, it was like like a Western, but set in New Hampshire.
Okay, we got one more here. This is the last one. This is important. This is going for OJ, because I worry about him sometimes with this.
What?
It says, alcohol and water never mix.
Uh-huh.
Alcohol is involved in numerous water-related injuries, and up to half of all water-related deaths. Wow! Half of water-related deaths involve alcohol.
Don't drink and dive.
Don't drink and drive a boat.
Don't drink and dive.
Don't dive, don't drive, don't do nothing. Okay?
Yeah.
So there you go. There's some water safety tips here. This is Terrence P. Murphy. He's the center of the 40th District. You can contact his office. It's 691 East Main Street, first floor, Shrub Oak, New York, 10588. Or you could actually call him, 914-962-2624. Tell him the show sent you if you have any questions about water safety. I got some more. I'm going to call him later tonight, perhaps 2, 3 in the morning.
Okay.
We still have that previously listed question of whether you shouldn't swim within an hour after eating.
All right, we're going to call him one day, okay? So,
burning desire.
with all that being said, my friends, welcome to the show. My name is John, and the band is finally back together. Together, we form the perfect Bermuda Triangle of podcasts. That's right.
That's right.
Joining me today is the great OJ, and of course the great Mr. Ed Trotta. You're both great today.
Likewise, John.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
The Bermuda Triangle of show hosts.
So
Anything that comes in disappears.
That's right. So what's going on with you guys, man? OJ, you've been away the last couple of weeks. Ed, you haven't been here in a month. I'm going to take that back. Neither one of you are great. You're both leaving me alone here. Jeez. OJ, what's been happening? What's going on? Tell us.
I spent the past 2 weeks pretty much preparing for my friend's wedding, which was pretty crazy pants.
Is it over now? It's done? It's consummated?
The last wedding related thing was finished yesterday. Well, the last thing I had to deal with.
And you were the best man of these festivities?
Ostensibly. I think the title was somewhat of a misnomer, but yeah, I'll take it.
How did it go?
Oh, it went pretty well. It was pretty funny. So I spent the time before the wedding, helping out and stuff and getting badgered a little bit by my counterpart, the maid of honor, who had some very strict demands. So, sorry, there's a spider I've been watching crawl on my ceiling for the past 10 minutes and fell a few inches, and now it's going away from me again.
This is why we ask you about the best man duties, because things like this happen.
Anyway.
I just imagine you being up there and, there's a spider on the altar. Suddenly, you go after it.
Actually, I'll tell you about the insects during the wedding. That was cute.
Okay, sure.
So I had to get up. I was yelled at to make sure that it was my job basically to make sure that the groom didn't see the bride the day of the wedding until, he was supposed to.
Oh boy.
So what this meant was I got a text message from the maid of honor about 8 minutes before we reached the venue, which was actually the castle in Tarrytown, which is this huge, ritzy, gigantic hotel that is built to look like a castle.
Ed, do you know about this castle in Tarrytown? Do you know about this?
I'm trying to picture it. I know Tarrytown fairly well. Is it on the hill anywhere near Marymount?
I am not sure if it's near Marymount, but it's near the Hudson, and I think you can see it from one of the upper rooms. If that helps at all, probably
it's
not.
A giant castle.
Yeah, the Castle Hotel and Spa.
Yeah.
The photographer comes by, takes some photos. Then eventually they steal everybody but the groom and I, and we just get to hang out, and the wedding planner buys us a glass of wine each. So we're just like, yep, this is good.
Did you have to give a speech?
Yeah, I did.
How did it go?
Pretty well, actually. It might have been because everyone was probably on their 12th glass of champagne or wine or beer or cocktail or whatever, but...
Easy room.
Yeah, I don't know, the room was very happy with the words that I spoke. I don't quite get it, but I'll take it.
Ed, have you ever done this? Have you been a best man before? Have you been part of a wedding party before?
Have I?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Did you give $2 bills to the strippers?
$2 bills. No, I didn't know about that. Well, this is long enough ago that $1 bills were fine.
No, I think they still are. Any kind of money, I think.
No, $1 bills are fine.
Maybe not coins. I don't know if they take
don't
that.
use Susan B. Anthony dollars. And if you're a jerk, you use half dollars because they're huge and worth half as much.
Okay.
OJ's hated in the stripper community. They talk about him and you see this guy coming.
Well, a Sue B. dollar is just demeaning because she's women's suffrage. Sorry.
So, Ed, you were part of some wedding parties and stuff like that. Do you have any stories about this or memories?
Not that I can share.
Did any of the marriages last?
Oh, the marriage is on today.
Oh, great.
They must have 30-odd years.
Oh, that's awesome. Excellent.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Because it was right after college graduation, 72. My first wife and I had just been married. And she was the maid of honor. I was best man. And we were both as nervous or more nervous than the wedding couple.
Right.
For some reason. We had a bachelor party. We showed him a good time.
Can't talk about those debauchery.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. Fair enough.
Oh, you'll let him get away with it. That's fine.
Well, I'm kind of pulling it out of him. You started it off. You got to finish it off. You know what I mean? You can't butter us up and then leave us there.
No, I
go
want
all the
bread.
way. All right. If you raise the dragon, you got to put him to sleep.
All right. I gotcha.
All right. So, John, you had a good time. People, they're happy with the outcome.
Yeah. We did get assaulted by bees, but that was okay.
During the ceremony?
It's an outdoor wedding, and both the groom and I hate bees.
Yeah.
I'm worse than he is, but we're standing there, and then they said they were going to spray for bees or, for bugs before the wedding started, like that same day. It's an outdoor wedding. We're by like a pillar, like one of those, like an arc of flowers standing there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just see by the other groomsmen, just a yellow jacket just kind of flying around. And then another one comes by and like bounces off of my back or something. And I'm just picturing what it would be like for a bee to try and sting through a wool suit. Like I got 12 layers on, so I think I'm probably okay, but it does not seem like a great prospect.
Did he interfere with the ceremony?
No. And once the bees flew away, and then we got assaulted by a bird that just whipped back behind us really fast.
And the marriage has been consummated. You have, as the best man, you are privy to this information. It's official.
What?
That's how, like, the old days, like ancient times. Like, you weren't actually married until it was done. It was consummated.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if it's true, but like in Game of Thrones, sometimes they have to do it in front of people.
Well, they basically bring everybody upstairs and shout at them and strip their clothes off and throw them into bed. And then,
we should go back to that.
Sounds like Roman weddings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
A little bit of excess.
All right, so Ed
Yes,
is here. Mr. Ed Trotta is here, of course. Something we forgot to talk about last time you were on the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have realized this by now since we've been back for quite some time now, a couple weeks. Ed is in the intro and the outro of every show now.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That was a surprise. I thought I was doing that for one show in particular.
Yeah, and Ed had just moved, and I'm like, you have to record something for me. He's like, oh, come on, I just moved yesterday. Like, you could do it. And he's like, well, I don't have my microphone. I don't know where it is. But,
yeah, that's right. I moved in on a Saturday. Sunday, the Time Warner guy came over and hooked me up.
Yeah.
And we did it, I think, we put that together Monday or Tuesday before that Wednesday show.
Yeah, it's always a pro, so it's It's a great intro, great outro, awesome stuff. I like it.
Anytime you want to, change it up.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll do some changes here and there.
Okay.
Updates.
For special occasions.
Yeah, of course. So,
Boxing Day.
Memorial Day was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Day before.
2 days ago.
Monday.
It was Monday.
Yeah.
How did it go, Ed? Did you do anything particular?
I had a great Memorial Day. My daughter came over.
Yeah.
And, we went down to the pool, went down to the jacuzzi.
Oh, nice.
We brought a couple of steaks down and used the patio barbecue, shared it with some other people. It's a huge barbecue because it serves the whole building.
Right.
So they have them in a couple of places. They have one on the roof. They have one on the patio. So we did all that. And then we came up, dried off, and went up to the penthouse to play some 8-ball. And then she hung out until it was time to take her home. But
I love holidays like Memorial Day because it's those holidays you don't really know are coming until it's pretty close.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh,
you're like,
wow.
Whoa, that's next week? Oh, cool, It's always a great thing.
I did some thinking about Memorial Day and what it commemorates, our servicemen.
Right, yes.
From all the wars. And I got to thinking about how it's changed, how, we've had to live with the concept of limited warfare ever since we split the atom.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, that expression, all's fair in love and war, that doesn't really apply anymore.
Yeah.
Because, I do Lincoln. And so in Lincoln's day, you did all you could to annihilate your enemy, including burning down Atlanta.
Hey, burn the whole South.
Chattanooga?
Actually, the Memorial Day goes back to 1868. It was called Decoration Day, and it was after the Civil War had ended, I guess, and they came up with with that, and eventually became Memorial Day. But I wanted to ask you about Lincoln and what Lincoln think about today.
What he would think about today. Well, I have in my play this concept of limited warfare, and his only experience was making General George McClellan the leader of the Union Army, who had the slows, as I used to put it. Reports indicated otherwise, that he was not outnumbered. He just, he would send dispatches to the war room saying he seized a herd of cows. Well, are they Union cows or Confederate cows? Should he milk them or take them prisoner? McClellan was not the best Union leader, but so limited warfare though, since nuclear, since splitting the atom, since nuclear bombs was supposed to be a deterrent, because if a country could drop one, well, you didn't want to go to war with it. But now, wars can be fought on a cyber level.
Oh yeah, strange.
Yeah.
Or the power grid. How fragile is our power grid? And satellites, knock those communication satellites out, and you have no more cell phones, no more mass communication. Anyway, it's out of hand. Weaponry, there's the arms race is unmanageable.
Mm.
So I don't know how today's military does it. I don't know how they do it with, information. It's all information now. Sorry, I'm bringing us down a dark road, aren't I?
No, but I mean, it's something to think about, though. I mean, just the way everything is right now, there's, nuclear weapons and technological espionage and all sorts of crazy stuff that could go down. I mean, it's weird. What makes us strong also makes us vulnerable.
That's right.
There are different types of war movies out there. There are things like Saving Private Ryan or Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Or Apocalypse Now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, on the ground. But then there are movies like Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, very nice.
Or What's the other one? Failsafe.
Oh, I never saw that one. Write that down.
Oh, that's a chilling movie because the U.S. accidentally launches an attack on Russia, and they try to call the one airplane that got through the defenses. They try to call it back because they realize they launched the attack in error, but they can't call the plane back. Even when the pilot's wife gets on the phone, and he's trained not to believe any voices. And even the president gets on the phone and he's trained, no, they can impersonate the president. No, we have to go through with our mission. And they drop a bomb on Moscow.
Oh.
And you just hear the phone go beep, So to compensate, the president decides to drop a bomb on New York.
All right. Oh, okay. So I see. It's one of those.
Since we took out your capital, we'll take out our major city. And Henry Fonda played the president in Failsafe, and it was a chilling movie. Because otherwise, if they went to full-out war, both countries would be annihilated.
So there's the kind of movies that kind of depict war, what it is, the horror of it, and there's the kind of movies that kind of make you think about
what it could be.
Definitely Dr. Strangelove, things like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, there's a book, Alas Babylon, that's basically about what would happen if the U.S. and parts of Florida got hit with nuclear weapons, and what would happen to society after that point.
It'd be bad, right?
It would be really bad. It was awful.
Memorial Day is a great day to kind of sit back and be with people you care about and eat some food that's probably not good for you, but tastes pretty good. And if everyone just kind of did that, man, all the time, I think it would be a good spot.
Yeah.
So,
and remember the people who died to give you the ability to kill yourself with delicious food.
Exactly. So within that day, there's a lot of lessons, perhaps.
Yeah.
From there, let's talk about something. Let's talk about toilet seats.
Oh, I could talk about this for hours.
Really?
Dude, I got my family a toilet seat for Christmas a few years back.
I'm going to go make a sandwich. I'll sit on it.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
I'm actually sitting on one right now. It's very comfortable. I bring this up because at work, sometimes you got to use the toilet, and you don't want to put your hands all over. You don't know what people are doing on that thing. You can only assume what they're doing with it. You don't want your hands touching that.
And even so, it's not great.
So usually what you do is you kind of use your foot sometimes, maybe lift it up. Right? Have you ever done that? If it's down, lift it up.
Some of them have handles for that.
I've never... What?
Like there's a little bulge coming out the side of the toilet seat.
Ed, have you seen this before? A handle?
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about.
But even the handle, I wouldn't touch that either, because the whole thing, quite frankly, the entire room, it's not right. Okay? So, I tend to use your foot to lift it.
Yeah.
But what I did is I used the foot and just completely broke off the entire thing.
What?
Just like,
Just snapped off?
Yeah, just destroyed it. So, there you go, whatever. This is what it is. I'm not paying for it, blah. But, here's my question for you guys. I've started thinking about this. I'm like, do I have any remorse for what has happened here? And the real answer is no, because, I mean, what does it actually accomplish? The top piece. You know what I mean? The cover?
Yeah, then it comes...
What does it do?
Are you kidding me?
What is the purpose of it?
That keeps grody stuff off your toothbrush.
So you're saying that just having it open, it's shooting germs everywhere?
That's what
and by shutting
I've been told.
it's
I don't
locked
know
in
if it's
there?
true, but that's what I've been told.
Wouldn't it, like, build up, and then as soon as you open it, it just bursts out every time anyway?
It's not going to just...
Because what does it actually do? Okay, so...
It stops the air.
Are you stopping things from falling in? Because it doesn't seem like a camera goes in there.
Well, that is another important thing, yeah.
You're putting the most disgusting of things into it, so you're afraid that something else might fall in there?
You know, I'll be honest. You know what I do? I close that toilet seat not just because I've been told it keeps things from being grody, but so that no one can yell at me for, like, forgetting to leave the toilet seat up. When I'm done with the bathroom, everyone has to lift the seat, regardless of who they are.
Ed, do you have any input on this? What's the purpose of the top lid?
It may have something to do with going back to when you didn't flush necessarily every time, or the lid in an outhouse. You'd have to have a lid on that
because the smell. Yeah, the smell would come out.
So
you're right on that.
It probably goes back to the outhouse thing.
So there really is no purpose for this.
Maybe not. It's just, but people with wooden toilets, it's decorative. Whatever. I don't know where this came from.
Wikipedia agrees with me.
It feels like a George Costanza question.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Wikipedia agrees with me.
What do you have, John? Tell us. We're looking for education here. That's why we're doing this. Tell us.
If present, the lid is frequently left open, but it can be closed to prevent small items from falling in and to reduce the spread of germs and odors when the water is aerosolized on flushing.
So do you think there's actually germs, though, that will stay in because the lid's on it?
That's good. If you have a lid, you should close it before you flush.
Yeah, you should close it before you flush, because when you flush, you're spreading water around, and some of that water is going to spray a little bit. Or it's going to get into the air.
It sprayed on you before?
No, but it's going to... When you're swooshing it around, you're bound to have some swooshiness.
Okay. There you go. I guess we learned. Why it's a sanitary thing.
Wait, you know what, John? Yeah. John, what do they have in toilets? What do they have in toilets?
In water.
Water. Who can we ask water questions to?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. If you have some questions about your toilet, please contact Terrence Murphy. He's the senator of the 40th District. 914-962-2624. There you go.
Well, I also remember when there was a water shortage in New York, a DJ saying, "If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down."
It's very 60s or 70s. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I've heard that rhyme before.
Yeah.
I ignore it. Flush all the things.
That makes sense though, because I think we waste so much water.
Yeah, and urine is sterile.
We talked about that in the past. We're not getting to that again.
All right.
Don't open that bag of worms there.
All right, I'll close. Let's shut the lid on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we did. As I said, I think we definitely do waste a lot of water, man. It's crazy.
Oh. Yeah, actually, that's something that Mark Ruffalo is fighting against.
Water wasting?
Yeah.
Is he in Hulk form when he does this? Or just
I don't know, but you'd think that when the Hulk's around, it wastes even more water, so he's trying to make up for it.
Because like Ed was telling us, California's severe drought.
Severe.
Over here people are watering the lawn, watering crazy stuff, man.
Brushing their teeth for 10 hours.
Yeah. Leaving
showering.
It on. Yep.
My apartment is almost all electric.
Okay.
No gas stove. It has a washing machine and a washer dryer, and everything's electric. My electric bill was like $30 and change. My water bill was $20 and change.
Your electric bill is $30?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm looking
energy conscious. I do turn lights on and off where I'm going, and I have all those curly Q light bulbs that are low energy. I forget what they're called.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So I remember one guy had a little sign by his swimming pool. He said, "Look, I don't swim in your toilet. Don't pee in my pool."
I like it.
I thought that was fair.
Did you see the final David Letterman show, Ed?
Yes.
Or John? You did see it.
I did not.
I don't know why. I just got caught up in this whole last 6 shows of Letterman kind of thing.
Is it a show that you watched for some time in the past? Or?
I had watched him, for on and off for a long time. I boycotted him for a little while after he made fun of Mr. Rogers. This was a long time ago.
Okay,
no one makes fun of Mr. Rogers.
Not in this house, no. So, I thought that was kind of mean, and I didn't watch him for a while. But that was a long time ago. He mellowed, and when he came back from his surgery, he was a better host.
What's the Mr. Rogers stuff? You just appreciate the program, or did you have any meetings with him at all? Or?
Well, it's just because of the way he talked to children. Can you say that? Can you do that? some people thought it was creepy, but if you watched Mr. Rogers with a young one, you could see how they connected to him. What a good influence he was. You know, telling people you're you and that's special and things like that. You know?
I certainly watched it and enjoyed it.
I know I love the show.
Yeah, we're all fans here.
And Letterman had some great guests on that last week.
Yeah, Bill Murray was on there.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that was his very last guest, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because he was his first guest.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, on his first show.
It's amazing how long these guys can do these shows for. It's just really incredible.
Yeah, really.
You know, was it 5 days a week for decades?
I always wanted to know if that guy who ran across the stage just before Letterman would make his entrance was actually Letterman. I never thought it was. I always thought they had a double run
really?
from stage right to stage left. And then Dave would walk out as though that were he, you know, just getting there in time. And I wanted them to introduce who that guy was, if in fact it wasn't Letterman. And I don't think it was. I don't think he'd be sprinting across just before coming out to do a monologue.
Yeah. That's a tough show to do, too, because, I mean, there's it has a very strict format that they always have to stick to. I'm sure you got a lot of pressure from, you know, all kinds of people, sponsors and network and all kinds of things. You can't really go to a certain point with it or change it around too much, or, you know, it's a lot of riding on it. So I'm sure that could be really a grind doing that kind of show.
I mean, how many top 10 lists can you really make in one career?
They did a lot.
They did a lot.
Yeah.
And they were good.
Paul Schaefer started on Saturday Night Live. The original. Yeah, crazy stuff. Did you see the Saturday Night Live reunion anniversary a couple months ago, Ed? And they had like everyone come back.
Yeah.
This was maybe in February or March or something.
I did see that. It was it a 40-year anniversary?
I believe so, yeah. It was like a 3-4 hour show.
Yeah, it was a long one. Yeah,
I watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's cool. It was good.
Yeah.
A lot of good people on there.
Do you remember that being a big deal when the show first came out?
Oh, yeah. When the show first came out, I thought they had the best. I think those were the best. The Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Eddie Murphy days.
Right.
Joe Piscopo didn't last, but
that was a little later on.
That was But
the original cast I think was the best, and then in the 90s you had a pretty good one too, and you had all those Chris Farley and all those guys, man. Phil
it went
Hartman.
up and down.
That cast in the very early 90s was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they had Wayne's World and all that stuff. I guess people would tell you that's probably the second best cast they had. But
it was a good era.
Yeah, good stuff. So my mouse is kind of broken here. It's kind of annoying. Every time I click the mouse, it clicks like multiple times, like on its own.
That's not right.
Yeah, I gotta get a new one, man. It's really annoying me, especially when I try to edit something or pretty much do anything. It's quite annoying. So I gotta get a new mouse.
Better get a cat for that mouse.
Yeah, how come they never came out with something to replace the mouse? The cat. The lion.
Lion. Dragon.
The shrew. The shrew?
It's a small mammal.
How does that work? What would it be? You sit on it?
I don't know. It's a better mouse.
It's a toilet seat you sit on and you jump on it or something. So John, on STAYBALLSY.com, you put a blog post up. You're complaining about technology. I don't know what was going on. Very angry. Technology.
I was livid.
What
I
happened?
just wanted to go for a jog.
All I
wanted was to. Yeah.
I know Ed's had some problems technology-wise too recently. So John, what's it all about? What were you so mad at?
So I just wanted to go for a jog, and I had bought some music, and I just wanted to get the music from where I bought it to my phone. And then, you know what? I just gave up on that. I'm like, fine. I just want to listen to this podcast.
Why?
And I'm just going to download it on. Well, here's what happened. Normally, I could just browse on my phone, click the link, hold it, hit save as, and I have my podcast. I download it. I can go listen to it We're done. Takes 2 minutes. It stopped. I updated Chrome, and the ability to download stuff like that was gone. It just opened up a stupid, idiotic window of, what application do you want to use to open this file? And one of them was Sound Recorder, one of them was Documents, neither of which could actually download a file.
It's all about these apps now, and they want you to subscribe to different apps and get this app, and it's like, why? Download it, click on it. I mean, why? Right?
Yeah, it gets worse. So I'm like, fine, you know what? I'll actually buy a couple of CDs, because if you buy them from this website, you can download them immediately before the CD even reaches your house. Cool. So I buy them, and I'm like, all right, where's the download link? I click the download link, and it says, it's even easier to download if you use our application. I'm like, I don't want to. I just want my files. Use our application to get our files. I don't want to. Then I finally get the stupid application. It's been like a half hour at this point. And it's got the worst user interface I've ever seen. And then finally I start downloading, and I have to go like one song at a time. It saves them in the wrong hard drive. It doesn't even give you the option at first. It's like, nope, we're going to put it in this folder just cause, I mean, who would ever want to put it somewhere else? We know better than you.
Well, I think a lot of things, they think they're actually making it easier for you. Because maybe someone doesn't understand, and I want to download something. They don't understand you can choose the place. What do you mean I have to pick? You know, I don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff going on.
I was just so mad. It took me 45 minutes. I was like, F this. I'm not going for a jog. I'm going to just sit here at home and be a lazy bum and jog in the morning or something. And I just sat there and I started writing this really frustrating rant especially because one of the companies I was mad at was Google, who constantly, it seems like every time they update something, they make it worse. They hit the nail on the head and made it perfect for a while.
So you were going to go exercise, but you couldn't download something, so you decided not to exercise and just said.
I decided I was going to exercise in the morning when I could listen to my stupid podcast.
Okay.
I was livid. I was just mad. I was frustrated.
Ed, what happened to you,
what's a great way to relieve one thing?
Yes, go ahead, yes.
You know what's a great way to relieve frustration? Exercise!
Yes, that's true.
Ed, what happened to you, sir? You got some sort of a virus or something?
Oh, no, my screen froze. I was trying to access YouTube. Someone had told me to look at a particular clip. Uh-huh. And I might have put a space between the U and the tube or clicked on a wrong entry. But all of a sudden there was this threat, call this number. Your computer is infected. But I have a computer friend who said, never call those numbers and pay someone to fix it. But it was frozen. I couldn't close it. I couldn't, it said, don't turn off your computer. You'll lose all data you've saved.
Did it have like a voice? Sometimes I've seen that before where it's actually like talks to you.
Yeah.
So it's like
this one didn't. It just had a warning on a frozen screen that wouldn't go off. And so I called my computer friend and he came over.
Yeah.
Then just, I don't know, clicked on Control-Alt-Delete.
Okay.
And the sign went away and it was fine. It was just a threat. It was just a scam.
Yeah, it was a scam, right? They actually give you the virus. Right, John? Sometimes
sometimes there's nothing on your computer at all. You'll call them, they'll tell you to download something, which is the virus.
That's right.
Download this, here's the virus for you.
Wow. Well, they'll steal information that that you can't access anymore, and then they'll charge you to get it back.
Yeah, or they'll call you saying, I'm with Microsoft support. You seem to be having a problem with your computer. Mm-hmm. And like they'll call people who don't even have Microsoft computers, like who only have Apples or whatever, because they're just trying to trick somebody. And it's awful. People are terrible.
We're going to have to talk to the senator about this. It's another thing to bring up.
Say, what if I bring my computer to near the water? And this and that and the other thing happens.
Yeah, you didn't say I couldn't.
Yeah.
You didn't say nothing you can't.
Not exactly water safety, but I'm surprised you have a politician out there who's, reaching out to people about water safety.
Well, he's trying to get some votes, I guess.
It's like a public service announcement,
Well, you're like, oh, wow. I mean, he's got a picture of him. His picture's bigger than, like, anything on here. So it's like, oh, wow, this guy. And then maybe you'll vote for him maybe later on or something. I don't know.
You probably thought, here's a safe issue. I don't have to really take a stand on anything.
Yes. I am for water safety. I know it's controversial, but I'm going to take a stand here.
If you're for safety danger, don't vote for me.
Yeah. All right, so, man, technology stuff, man, you gotta be careful out there.
Yeah.
We need a pamphlet on that, I think, maybe.
Be careful out there. Yeah, people are snapping all over the place. I don't understand it. Here in LA, things are, people are, barricading themselves in. There are, more homicides, it seems to me, than
there has been?
Yeah. Well, wow. If the person's of note, like U2's road manager died this morning or yesterday.
Really?
Yesterday. And they performed that night, regardless. And he was a legend to them, part of their family. But because he was a celebrity, his death was all over the news. That's okay. That's news. But people snapping, just losing their whatever patience or tolerance or something. I don't know, and I don't know to what extent violent gaming, the war gaming.
Who knows?
Who knows? Or I don't want to blame it on that. Some people say no, it's a release from that kind of thinking. It's a safe place for aggression. I don't know the answer. People are calm in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is actually very quiet for being downtown LA. I'm in the sort of arts and culture center. So there's nothing but tourists and cameras outside.
Well, speaking on that, I would like to come to this land you speak of at some point. So I'm kind of talking to you a little bit about trying to plan a excursion out there.
Bring the water with you.
Bring water. Right.
It's hotter here probably, though, this time of year, I would say. The humidity we got. And no, I don't know. Probably.
Well,
we actually get rain here, so.
Oh.
That's like the problem, right?
I think so, yeah.
I got some spring photos from an East Coast friend of mine, Deborah Armstrong. Deborah Starobin Armstrong has a Shutterfly account. I recommend her nature photography. She lives in Maryland, and she goes kayaking and takes pictures of wildlife and flora, fauna, and sunsets, and and it looks like a beautiful spring happening out there.
Yeah, we're moving into the summer now.
Yeah.
But certainly, it's always beautiful, really, here. In the winter, you got the nice snowscapes, and it's always a good-looking place, man, for sure. Actually, I don't know if you checked out last week's show, either one of you guys. We were talking about pollen.
Yeah.
And I actually did a little more research on this pollen, and I found a cubic meter of air can contain thousands of pollen grains. Wow, thousands. And a cubic meter.
Cubic liter.
Meter.
Thousands. Well, that makes sense. A cubic liter is not that small a space.
Okay.
Wait, did you say liter or meter?
Cubic meter.
Oh, that's 3 by 3 feet.
Yeah.
Boy.
Thousands of pollen grains, man. We basically, it was Brian was here last week, we basically found that what pollen is, it's basically plant sperm powder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we basically discovered.
Delicious.
And you just breathe that in all the time, right? But you think about this, and it's just like how miraculous nature is. Like that this even exists, this sperm powder, this pollen, and it's all like everything is so well thought out. Okay? Because like plants can't have sex like humans do. Do we both agree? Do we all agree on that? Like they can't do it. Like a leafy penis cannot come from one plant into another plant. Like it would just be weird. It can't do that.
Right? Pretty strange.
Like a branchy, I don't know. I don't want to keep describing it. But
have you seen The Evil Dead?
So, they have this pollen for the plants, and humans are very different than that. The way we reproduce. Just imagine that humans reproduce like the plants do. Like that'd be wow, and it's like it could have been that way, right?
Oh, gosh.
It could have been.
We've got a high human pollen count today, so ladies, stay inside or put on your suits.
So like when the male human does his thing, it's like this powder goes all into the air and lands on the female. And then the female would become pregnant. Imagine that. Or if like some little bug ate some of this human sperm pollen and then flew into the mouth of a woman, and then she became pregnant off of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is all stuff that could have been.
I'm glad that
But nature kind of decided, no, it makes more sense to do it this way.
So the flowers have true love, and we have sex.
Yeah, in a way. They're kind of, it's up to fate, really, with the plants, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So your bend on the divine plan is well taken, John.
Yeah, and there's all these different types of plants that were cross-pollinated, and that's a whole thing, a whole species that was created because of this. I mean, it's just nature is truly miraculous.
Yes, she is God's better half, is how I refer to Mother Nature.
I just some of the ways that things work and don't work, just completely mind-boggling and amazing that it's even a thing.
I feel like for the most part it really works, though. I mean, a lot of things go wrong and people get sick, and there's natural disasters and things like that, which is not good. But for the most part, it's well thought out.
Yeah,
and,
I agree with you.
It's pretty incredible to just kind of like think about a little bit. It's better to think about that than the plant leafy penis that it may have.
Yeah, you know what that smell is when you're walking through the forest in the spring?
That's
you're smelling tree sex.
Tree sex.
Come on. Horrible.
What? They've always got.
Oh boy.
So going back to the thing we were talking before at Los Angeles. If I come to LA, what do you suggest I should check out? What's some good places to visit? Things to do.
Well, I mean, there are the very touristy things, the Walk of Fame, which leads you to Grauman's Chinese and Hollywood and Vine. There are some great museums, the Disney Concert Hall and the Music Center and the MoCA across the street from me. That's a different, thing altogether. I always recommend that people check out the Griffith Park Observatory.
What is this?
That's where you can you can see all of Los Angeles. It's the high point. It's at the top of the Hollywood Hills.
Okay.
It's where part of Rebel Without a Cause was filmed.
Oh, very nice.
And you're very close to the Hollywood sign, so you can see that up close. And it's got binoculars, the little coin-op things that you scan all over. And they have a nice space museum up there and a planetarium.
There's some cool movie theaters to check out.
Movie theaters,
old style.
Well, the Grauman's Chinese, where they have all the footprints and handprints of stars. That's what's famous about Grauman's is that you can see all of those footprints and handprints. My favorite movie theater is the Vista on Sunset because it's really old fashioned. It's a single screen. The concession, still has reasonable prices and, just old fashioned chocolate bars and popcorn and
they're still running, what kind of films they run now? New stuff or classic?
They run, first run. Yeah, they do first run movies there. And if you go at, their first show of the day, the matinee, it's something like $5 instead of 12 or whatever movies cost these days.
20.
Yeah, 20. It's absurd. This is a mass media.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to pay more than $20. Should be for a stage play.
Yeah, you're right. It's something you could see at so many different places. It's all pretty much the same experience with the movie theaters, really. Mm-hmm. Stage play that's unique to the performers you're seeing.
Yeah.
The show you're seeing is unique because it's, people actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do it exactly the same every time, Right. So, I can understand. I totally get that logic. Huh.
Yeah. The stage is the only true actor's medium because you can hear the audience.
Right.
You can play them. You know how long to hold for a laugh. That's why it's hard to make a movie comedy because you don't know how long a laugh is going to be. Mm. And it's a misnomer to think that but when you make a movie, you get to do something over and over and over until it's perfect, and then you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, forget it, done.
It's actually in a movie, because that scene is the take. That's the only shot you get. Whereas when you're in a play on a long run, that's when you get to do something over and over and over.
Okay.
And refine the performance.
Get into the nuance.
Yeah.
Really flesh it out.
Huh.
John, what about you? Did you ever consider doing stage work, John?
You again?
Like a play? Yeah, you've done.
I did a play
you've
once.
done play. What was the play you were in? You never told us about this.
I thought I did. I was in Waiting for Lefty.
Waiting for Lefty. We
were in. If I'm right, it was an off Broadway production, because we had I don't know, whatever the next tier of seats down was from being off Broadway, according to my friend. But I didn't have a big part. But
what was your line? Tell us. What's the setup?
Well, my lines is basically I had a bunch of lines, like they were pretty dumb, because basically the play is about a big taxi cab drivers union meeting where they're all getting angry at the guy who's in charge of the union, who some guys think he's corrupt and they want to strike, but that guy doesn't want him to. He's been paid off. And in the beginning, there's a bunch of angry union members from the seats who are shouting at the stage. So me and a couple other guys, basically had to shout complaints and really frustrating things at the guys on the stage. So I don't remember too much. Gosh, this was years ago. But I know one of the things I had to shout was the guy on stage is like, "What is it from here to Philadelphia by train? An hour? 2 hours!"
That's your line.
Contradicting the guy. Yeah, 2 hours.
How many times did you do the performance?
7?
Wow. Okay.
I think. I don't remember. But the funny piece was I was helping out by selling tickets out front while they were getting everybody else ready. They forgot to come get me before they started the play one of the times.
Nice.
So everyone knew my first 2 lines, but no one knew my third, which was fine because you're shouting them from the back of the stage. And then they did. I ran in time to hear my second line. I'm like, oh, now they know I'm not here.
Someone else did it?
And then, yeah, someone else did it. And someone else did my first one, which is fine. Then they got to what my third line was, and I knew the guys back there were like, I didn't know what was going on, like, if they knew my third line or not. So I jumped in like a hair of a second early and said my third line. And you could just kind of feel the relief because they didn't know from that point onward. And once they did a scene change, I just booked it to the back of the theater. But no, I did actually have another line. Like I was supposed, I shouted, I was supposed to run up on stage at the end of it and tell everybody what had happened to Lefty. So
what happened to him? Is he okay?
That sounds pretty critical role.
Yeah, I guess. Right. What you guys want spoilers?
All right, just forget it. You're all about the teasing today with you.
No, I don't like spoiling things.
OJ fluffs us up and just leaves us.
Well, no, it's like if you want to watch the play, watch the play. I don't want to spoil it.
All right, we'll watch it. Don't worry.
Okay. I want to be a jerk.
That was by Clifford Odets, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Clifford Odets.
Okay, I knows about this.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Depression era drama, American Depression era drama.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. It was like, I think it took place in like 1936, 35, something like that.
Yeah, he wrote some good stuff.
Were those accents real accents that they had at the time? You know what I'm talking about, those 20s, 30s accents. You watch like Boardwalk Empire, they didn't get into that too much. They didn't really get into that like over-the-top accent, kind of thing. They played
OJ just did a very good New York accent.
Is that good?
Thank you.
Do it again. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Well, now I'm just going to be embarrassed. Can't do it again.
How long does it take to train to get to what was it?
Philly.
2
hours.
2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours.
I got cousins from the island.
I don't think either one of you will be allowed in New York ever again after this.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I worked to lose my New York accent.
Did you have a thick accent?
Well, you should hear about the rest of my family.
Oh, really?
I thought my name was Ed Wood for the longest time.
What? Edward. Okay, I see.
Ed Wood.
Do people, so you don't have any accent now, do people still kind of hear it? Because sometimes if you go certain places, even if you don't think you have an accent, they'll kind of think you do. And
well, if I visit my family for a while, I come back with saying, can I have a glass of water?
Right.
John, you're pretty accent free, I think. Do you ever get people think you're from a certain place or something? Or it doesn't happen to you?
I have a tendency to talk in stupid accents randomly.
People don't know what the fuck. All right, forget it.
What?
How did you lose your accent, Ed? What did you have to do?
Playing people that didn't have one, or
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I took voice lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Singing lessons help. I'm not sure, but when you're playing someone who isn't from New York, you suddenly become aware of it. And
right.
My father used to pronounce moist like Ed Norton on The Honeymooners. Moist. Moist.
That's awesome. I like accents. I wish, it seems like people are starting to lose them a little bit as we all kind of become more the same, I think, over time. But I love that kind of thing. Like, I want to go somewhere and not understand one word someone's saying to me. I think that'd be awesome.
Even though they're speaking the same language?
Yeah. I just think that's cool,
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a culture, man. It's a culture of your area or something,
Well, that's what's great about the U.S. You can go to different places and we're all still speaking English, but, like...
We're all doing it poorly.
Well, we're all doing it horribly in different ways.
There you go. What's going on in OJ World? Anything happening we should know about?
I'm still trying out swing dancing.
Swing dancing, like with the trumpets going, the sax, like that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's where I was last night.
Swing, do you have to spin the woman or the man or whatever whatever you're doing?
Sometimes both. I'm really bad at it, so I just kind of move my feet and then feel embarrassed.
Do they play that kind of music? Like, was it big band, they call that?
Yeah, man.
Ed, have you done this swing dancing before?
I have, yeah. There was a place called the Red Parrot in New York.
Wow.
That
sounds awesome.
Had a big band, and they used to do that, and my ex and I used to dress
the hats
for the occasion and go sort of. It's not exactly ballroom dancing, but it's sort of an era like 40s or something, and it was very romantic.
Oh, that's fun. John, how's it going?
It's a good time. I'm terrible at it, though.
Why do you say that? Have you hurt people yourself?
No, I haven't stepped on people's feet in a little while, but like I have trouble figuring out at what point to step and whatnot. And the thing is, if you go to one of these like social dancing nights, everyone there is so good.
Who are these people that are doing this in these classes?
This isn't even a class. This is just like I went to like a jazz club.
Wow. Look at you.
Yeah. Well, I was already at JFK at the airport, so I figured I'm in New York. This is the 100th birthday of one of the creators of like big people who helped create swing and the Lindy Hop and stuff. So I went to go celebrate, and yeah, it's insane. There's a lot of people actually around our age, which is cool.
Yeah.
Some older people. I think they had a troupe of younger people there to celebrate because they were part of the troupe that this guy helped found. But it's fun, but like people are doing so many crazy things. Like their legs are going nuts, their arms are flailing around when they're doing. I think that must be Lindy Hop because I don't know what the heck that is.
What is the Lindy Hop, Ed?
The Lindy Hop, yes. I have two older sisters, and they used to. And for Christmas one year, they got a Victrola and a Bill Haley and the Comets Rock Around the Clock, and you do the Lindy to that. And my oldest sister, Donna, is a terrific dancer, always was, a cheerleader, dancer. Steffi is a good dancer too, but Donna really was the dancer in the family. So I listened to Bobby Darin and Bill Haley and the Comets and Elvis Presley, relentlessly until the Beatles came along. The Beatles then were my music.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, And they weren't easy to dance to, but I enjoyed listening to them.
The Twist and Shout?
Twist and Shout was okay. And
it was a cover, though.
She was just 17. I remember learning to dance to that song.
Wow.
And so...
Did you guys used to go to the school dances?
I went to the school dances. I could, my older sisters kind of used me as a partner, so I knew I was pretty coordinated and could. There was a guy at Fordham Prep named Mike Preston who was a really good dancer, and I could just watch him and pick up his moves, and and then, of course, when you do a musical like Godspell or Hair and you're dancing all the time, but it's all free form. It's all like modern, not modern dance. That is a style.
Yeah. Do you remember going to school dances at a young age? Was it like the boys and the girls? They felt uncomfortable with each other. They kind of separated, or were you're going right in there?
Oh, well, I went to parochial school, so the boys and girls were separated.
Wow.
Oof, yeah.
Until you had a mixer. And, and then you invited the girls from your sister schools. And so everyone was just waiting for those slow dances, where you could just hold someone.
Yeah, right. Was there like the one girl that everyone was interested in? Was it that kind of thing? Of course.
The closer they danced, the more popular they were.
Of course.
Oh, that's great.
And there are the priests walking around saying, "Leave room for the Holy Ghost between you."
Wow.
Leave room for the Holy Ghost. Oh, he wants to dance. Does he want to cut in? He's in there too.
He's right in the middle. Sandwich. Holy Ghost sandwich happening.
Mm-hmm.
John, how about you? Did you feel uncomfortable
at the high school dances? Yeah.
Did you ask out a girl to dance? Did it go all right?
A couple times, but I had a really bad experience at a middle school dance.
What happened? You have to tell us.
There's a girl I wanted to ask out.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, quote unquote friends, had been badgering me like, "Hey, do you like somebody? Hey, do you like somebody? Hey, do you like somebody?" Being really annoying about it. And I told him.
That you did like her.
He told him that you did.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
He told everybody, and then
what a
she
jerk.
found out about it at the dance, and I was trying to find her. She had run into the gym and was crying.
Why?
I don't know.
You still don't know to this day?
I don't remember exactly how we got to that point. There must have been some reason, but it was pretty bad.
So she found out you liked her. She ran away and hid?
Kind of. I don't think if that's what was it. Maybe it was the fact that everybody was. Maybe it was the fact that everybody was saying it at the school.
Oh, so they're all like, "You and John are together. You're getting married and all that." Do you think this guy liked her maybe, and then he was trying to like embarrass you?
Nah.
He was just messing with you.
He was just messing with me. Two guys were messing with me.
Terrible story here.
Him and the guy he told. It's okay. We got over it.
Wow. Ed, did you go to the prom? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, of course. The prom.
Sounds like it went well.
Yeah. It was, we had the Young Rascals play for us.
Okay.
And I had asked a girl, like a year earlier if she would go to the prom with me, and she said yes. Then in the coming year, I kind of fell for somebody else. And went to her prom, but when it came to mine, I felt like I had to honor my invitation originally.
Yeah.
To the other girl, and it was kind of awkward that way. But proms are just like nerve-wracking mixers.
Yeah, I didn't even go, so I couldn't tell you. But
I think I already.
Yeah, John once told us the story. What happened with him? It was a riveting tale, but it was basically.
I'll sum it up quickly.
Basically, what Ed did to that young lady is what happened to John. Someone else did that to him, right?
Twice.
2 times.
I went to the prom with someone else's girlfriend 2 years in a row. 2 different girls.
Oh well, it happens in young love, I used to tell my father or mother that Fuzzy's father was driving us home. So don't worry, you don't have to pick me up. But actually, I would save enough money to take the girl home in a cab because that's where you could get a kiss or cop a feel, But that was as much money as I had, was to just get there. And then once I dropped her off, I had to walk home from wherever she lived.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
In the Bronx, through the Bronx in the middle of the night.
It's like The Warriors, the movie. You had to get out of the Bronx, right?
Yeah, you're out in the Bronx. You run to the L. It's 2 a.m.
Wow. Well, that's an adventure, man. It's crazy times, but those are things you remember, I'm sure. Stick out in your head, Yeah. We got to be more like the plants, John. We'll avoid a lot of these situations.
True love. You
don't have to ask people to the dance. You just wait for some pollen to fall on your face.
And you're pregnant.
And there you go. It's done. It's over. You've done the very thing that, we're supposed to do, reproduce, and then that's all you got to do. You're done.
Yeah.
So there goes the whole right to life thing right out the window. I mean, what do you... Oh, never mind. Never mind.
You're just walking down the street and you can get pregnant. That would be messed up.
That's how it could have been. This is what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
The doctor was impregnated by a cactus.
Come home and tell your parents. Yeah,
I don't want a cactus.
Some dandelions impregnated me.
No wonder you have such a prickly personality.
Oh.
On the plus side, you've got a good spine.
Can you get a third one out of this, or are we done? Try.
No, I've gone dry.
He's still going. Look. Well, this was a fun show today, gentlemen. We got a lot in there.
Yeah.
Love, weddings.
Oh, weddings, right. There's one more thing I want to say about the wedding.
Oh, sure, yes. Now you want to talk about it.
I wanted to say, regarding the speech, I meant to say this earlier.
Uh-huh.
I would not have done as good a job as I did if I hadn't had so much practice from John in reading monologues and help from Ed in how to say them properly. So thank you, guys. I appreciate the help very much.
Okay. Well, you're welcome. I would like to put in a couple of plugs, since I plugged up Deborah Starb and Armstrong's Shutterfly. My friend Catherine Donatelli, Art by Donatelli, you should check that out. And my favorite bands, All She Wrote and Option 22. Check them out. And I guess that'll do for now. I'd like to plug my daughter too. I mean, my daughter is just, she's working a couple of jobs, playing tennis, also working for Big Red, which hires out talent for parties. She just just worked for a party for Pink.
Okay, sure.
Oh.
And she was the arts and crafts girl to entertain the kids. And she's just been a gift of a daughter to have my whole life. Spencer, this is for you.
That's probably the greatest plug I ever heard.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'd say she should come on and talk to us sometime, but I don't know if she wants to be involved with the toilet seat conversation and the pollen and all that. But
no,
I can't blame her.
She has been here at times when the show was about to begin, and and I've said, you wanna start it with me? Nah, she's not one to be in front of the camera. Although when she is, she's outstanding. You can't take your eyes off her.
Well, it's understandable for sure. No offense taken. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a show, and then also we got to put over the Ed Trotta fan club over on Facebook. If you guys can check that out, please.
Yeah, I could use a few more fans.
Yeah, go ahead, go like the page. Ed's always posting some good stuff, man. He posted a couple things recently. Do you recall a recent post you want to maybe tell us about?
Well, the latest one was thinking about our military and how my war would have been the Vietnam War, and I managed not to have to serve, but that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful to those who did,
right,
or any of our armed forces in the job they have to do, especially in these complicated days of limited warfare and cyber threats and all of it. It's a tough job.
Yeah, absolutely agree. All the respect we have to anyone that served and is serving now. We've spoken to some of you guys in the past. I know some of you guys actually listen to the program overseas and stuff, which is really a cool thing, man.
Yeah.
We love all you guys, and thanks for what you do. Absolutely. That's going to do it for this week's program. A lot of love here, The prom leads to pollination.
And pollination.
Proms and pollinations. I think that might be the title of the program. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's how it is, man. We'll be back here next week, possibly with some news, or we may have news talking about how the news didn't work out. Doesn't really make any sense, but I'm hoping to have some news. I was hoping to have it today for you, but I was trying to figure some things out, get some things set in stone before we kind of get people's hopes up on things or whatever. But hopefully, I talked to Ed about it a little bit. We can't really get into it here.
Well, before signing off, I also want to plug Schnozman and Hole Punch for anyone who has watched the series. Or hasn't, it's a must, because you get to see the outtakes, you get to see it in Blu-ray, you get to see, and the outtakes get better and better. It's something that these guys have put out that I think you got a few left, don't you?
We do, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Certainly
good.
do. I really appreciate that, Ed. Thank you very much. You guys,
how do the folks get it?
STAYBALLSY.com. That's all you got to do is hit up STAYBALLSY.com, or you can just send me an email if you want. STAYBALLSY@gmail.com, and we talk about it. But appreciate that, Ed. And of course, I'll plug you. Here we go. So give and take. You can go to @Ed_Trotta on Twitter and follow the man on the Twitter machine. Send him a message. Tell him you love him. Okay. There you go. So that's going to do it for today's program. Thanks to both you guys for doing it. Thank you for everyone that checked this out. However you're checking out, we are very grateful for you doing that. And that's it. Any final words?
Thank you,
So long,
John.
folks. See you when I see you.
All right. OJ, say goodbye to the beautiful people.
Have a wonderful insert time of day here, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of StayBallsy.com, the best in free and optional entertainment. Have a pleasant evening, and remember, stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.